they're doing everything they need to do. They're pulling these fry together, they're working together, and they're actually keeping those fry. You know, I think they realize now that there's a barrier between them, but they're still always protecting those fry from these rainbow fish right here. All right, guys, I just want to make a quick update on the Midnight Rams and their fry. We are on day 11. This is the farthest they've gotten so far. This has been about a 10-month project for me to get them to take care of the fry. So they're being stripped of their parental instincts because we're pulling eggs all the time. Now, this is just something personally for me. I do this for fun. I don't make a ton of money doing it or interested. I used to do this for a business, but now it's just more for me and trying new things. So you see, and it's hard probably to see on camera, the darker ones. It's about 50-50. It might be a little heavy on the gold. But you can see them down in that cup. Taking care of them, they're eating brine shrimp 3 to 4 times a day, which is simple to do. But yeah, trying to raise them by myself in a container, it's tough and very, very labor intensive. Do probably 5 gallons. This is a 20 high. Do 5 gallons of water change on this a day because I'm putting so much food in there. Now I'm doing the Micron Sarah, the spirulina powder, and crushed up discus pellets in a grinder. And one thing I'm doing is making sure the parents are well fed, okay? Because the last thing I want them to do is get hungry and turn on these fry. Here's the deal. I'm gonna go another 3 days. I know I'm pushing it, but this is important to me to get these guys to take care of it, because if I can have a set of fish that's gonna raise these fry, it's gonna be highly profitable with very little amount of labor. So here's what I've done. I actually had an albino crebensis down here, and I pulled them, and so I'm getting this tank ready with soft water and the Saracatapa leaves. And then what I'm doing is when I'm changing water out of this, I'm changing it down here, and then I'm actually adding 5 gallons of fresh soft water. One thing I'll do is 14 days, I'll pull them. Now I'll probably leave a few fry in there just to see how they react to it, because they're probably not going to be happy, but it's the same way I do my discus, 14 days. Change this water into the hard or tap water. So right now it's kind of acclimating to temperature, but it's still hard water, soft water mix. So over the next couple days, I'll be changing this water out to that tank and getting it almost the same. Now what I will do is I will pull some of these catappa leaves out, some of this moss, and then as they either take care of the remaining fry. I mean, ultimately I'd like to leave the gold fry in if I can, but that's gonna be impossible to pick those apart. And the parents are probably gonna stress out at that 14 days. But what I'll probably do is just take a nice scoop out and then leave them and then watch them. So I've been really studying their behavior on the parenting. And these guys, I think they figured it out with just age. I would say it's been about 10 months, and they had about 3 or 4 months where they would not spawn. But as soon as I put them in this 20 high with all these catappa leaves and this really soft water, and I actually bumped up the temperature to 84. We're sitting at 82, so I think that temperature change. And then what I started doing is about 78 degree water change. They were getting a little bit of cool, so I think it stimulated them. But you can see they're really taking care of those fry. So I'm gonna go a couple more days, okay? Let's see, by Saturday we'll know. But even if we fail, we'll just try it again. Because that's one thing, as I've learned over the years with fish keeping, is you have to be patient, especially if you're trying to do something new or something that's not really done that often. But I'm not aware of a lot of people keeping the fry with the parents because the black ram is considered very hyper aggressive. So that's what I'm looking for, is somebody else. Now I'm sure there's somebody out there, but I just can't find them that are keeping the fry with the parents. And this has been like almost a year project for me. I'm gonna keep going on it. I'm not gonna stop. So, you know, yes, I could pull them today and have the fry, but my goal is to have these guys become amazing parents and give me tons and tons of fry, right? Highly profitable if they do it, okay? Very time consuming if I do it, or if the fish keeper does it. I just wanted to give a quick update. I know it's not a fancy video, it's going to be just how it is, and that's going to be the way it's going to be sent out. And leave me your comments. All right, guys, take care. And one more thing, I kind of want to show a working fish room, okay? So you guys see all these videos with these fish rooms, and my fish room is pretty much always clean. But when I'm not filming, this is what the fish room looks like, okay? It's just basically I have stuff out, and I'm always working. I always have my barrel here to pull water out, put water in. I have my buckets here. I have my ladder. I have some mops I pulled, and you know, I got this brine shrimp. So with the brine shrimp, I've taken out the eggs, and this is what I feed out of. So I can feed within like 30 seconds by just dropping this into the sieve and then just putting it right in the tank. So this one is got to be done by tonight. Has a little bit of fresh water, vitamin C in it, and then this is the one that's going to go tomorrow morning. I'll drain it. So I just kind of wanted to show a little bit more of how the room actually looks when we're not all ready to film, and kind of things are laid everywhere. And that's just to be efficient with my time, because if I just try to always keep the room clean and perfect, you know, I'm not taking care of the fish. So I don't know if I can see it. So these are the red sailfin, the Venezuelan, and they're tiny. So I did this one different, no methylene blue. I did this one with the catappa leaves. And let's see if I can see anything. Oh, there's one right there. So there's probably about 30 of those red sailfins in here, and they just hatched the other day, so I got to feed them. But what I did is catch cup, and then I just put the catappa leaf in it, and then I took this as they started hatching. This is a coffee filter. Put this in and it floats. And then I just put the eggs in there with the catappa running over it and the fresh water, and then I'd put the fresh water under and it floats up. And then the eggs hatch, and then as they hatch, I just dump them out. So a little bit different than what you see online. I find that these botanicals work amazing. And the problem with the methylene blue is basically you got to be there and get it out as they're hatching. You don't want them sitting and hatching in that methylene blue. So this is just a different technique, and I'm convinced that these Sarah leaves are just better. Okay, I did an Etsy one, 20 leaves. I don't remember what I paid, but it was like half the cost. But these Sarah leaves basically kick that water into that tea. This is all Sarah, and it just quicker. So I mean, I could probably put 10 leaves to 2 leaves of the Sarah, and I still don't think, I know it doesn't work as fast, but I also know that it's black water or dark water or peat water basically. So one thing I do in my barrel now is I've changed things up because I've done some experimenting. And so now what I'm doing is I'm mixing tap water with the RO water, and then just putting these peat bags in, and I kind of squeeze those out, so you see how it's a little bit darker water. And one thing else I do is I put the trace elements in there. So not that it needs it, but what I have found is I wasn't getting enough buffer, and the last thing I want to do is have my soft water crash. So it's still only about 20 to 30 parts per million, so it's not a lot of buffer, but at least it's something. But I know if I go any higher with the tap water, then actually what starts happening is it gets too hard. It gets above that 100 ppm, and the pH rises a little bit. Now this peat does help it keep it on the acidic side, but you're talking 6.8, 6.9. So, and the tanks are sitting about 6.4 to 6.5. Okay. All right, guys. I'll talk to you real soon. Take care.